Oh guys, just testing. We'll get right back to the stream. Oh guys, just testing. Great. Okay. Okay. This is nice. Just need some reaction from the bottom. Should come here. There's this curve. Okay, I like what I see on Ethereum against Bitcoin. We're likely creating a lower time frame structure here, which should soon be APU free as well. What I like is that we are creating a potentially a free tap here, which is a lower time frame free tap to higher time frame free tap, which is a good conviction. If you enable this, lowest we have here is this zone, but that depends. This was swept, so this should be fine. Don't see Ethereum Bitcoin going that low, but potentially can go here. And a lot of volume here, which is good. Usually it's a reversal zone. But I think what they are doing right now is just a lower time frame. Forming some lower time frame traps. So many people are bearish. I expect some ranging around here. Hello guys, what's up? I've been streaming for a couple minutes. It was entirely for VIP, but people are already for now away probably, so just kind of waiting. Decided to forward it here too, and for the previous members in VIP, they'll have more content during the upcoming weeks. So I was currently talking about Ethereum and Ethereum on Bitcoin and my current expectations, what we are doing on LTF and the other things. But things are looking pretty good for Ethereum, I would say. I think we are going to range here for a while. During these, or like below these levels, and then continue higher. I feel like we need to go much lower, but it would be nice if we had a daily close below this level, and then we went up. Or potentially filling this level, because, yeah. If so, then next target would be 6k. Oh wait, I need to stop this, okay. But yeah, for now I feel like Bitcoin is not as attractive. I don't trade it. Told you that many times, but yeah. Suggest focusing on alts right now. I believe we are very close to a reversal, which should happen on a 17th, the furthest, the 17th of February. But I would accumulate alts already here. Why 17th of February? Because currently we have a Chinese New Year on 17th to 3 of March, so during that area. And I believe we are going to range in that time, but the latest is this sector where we should bottom, so basically let me mark it. How can I mark it? Date range, okay. So during this time I expect the bottom to come, and then we have some sort of where it can range and then go up. But the reason is blood moon cycle starts and we have a Chinese New Year, which is often a very bullish, or historically it's very bullish dates. And on top of that, I noticed from one guy on X that this is looking a lot like a week of accumulation, which is a Trump's media technology, where we are kind of building some sort of a liquidity curve, which is very good. Because if this pumps, usually the crypto has been pumping alongside of that. And yeah. And if we go to, where is this? If we go to lower time frames, there's just some unfilled areas here, which could be pumped, but overall, I expect actually this to bottom soon. And once it reverses, crypto should run too. And this kind of is well timed with the area I was talking about. So from 17th to 3 March. Oh, I have a big chart on. Okay. So during this area, once the market is open, you should see some nice reversals. You see that volume was already kicking up here, but kind of failed to do so. So from this point, what I would expect is a sweep of these lows, closure on a higher time frame above that. We can dip like this, but closure above this zone, this, on higher time frame, like weekly or monthly, and then we are likely going to go higher on crypto as well. Ideal would be if we swept this listing price, basically the low of the listing price. So yeah, it kinda aligns with the thesis on that. But so many people are speaking about lower levels right now. I mean, if we would consider data as a whole on Bitcoin, then we should be bottoming on October. But I don't feel like that's going to happen. It would be way too obvious, and everyone is talking about that, kinda. But for Bitcoin, I still expect this to be the range for now, and yeah. And then we have further plans. But what I would like to see is a sweep of 40k later on during the cycle. But for now, I expect market to go higher again. We have some certain key levels, but for now, I'm not really looking into lower prices. And the reason for 40k is the 12-month cycle, as that's the lows of 38k. This zone is where I would expect a reaction in some sort of. So for further long limits, you can set up one here with a lower leverage. And that should guarantee you some nice reaction right after we reach that. This is also a old CRT level, which was not swept. So this price is the key area on Bitcoin in long term. That is what needs to be swept. It can go lower slightly, but this is the area that we will likely see in future that will be swept. I was talking about Ethereum Bitcoin before I sent the live stream link. It's looking like a bullish free tap is forming on top of a higher time frame PO3. So manipulation, and on top of that we have a weekly zone that is currently being hit. What I would like to see for a confirmation of a bullish price action is a weekly closure above this level on this candle. So we have approximately 4 days for some reaction to the upside. 1 second, I will just let the cat inside. Oh my god, there's a big rainstorm outside today. Crazy. Okay. We need to set this up again. USDT dominance, we swept the level I was looking for on higher time frame, the old free tap levels and resistances. What would be nice is if we actually closed slightly higher here on weekly and then dumped. But I told you many times in the free channel too, when something is about to top, the price will accelerate. And you have a liquidity curve. So when price accelerates, market gets tighter and faster. And once it tops, it falls quickly back to the old levels. And that is what USDT is basically doing lately. Totals have swept some very important levels too. We have not closed below this level yet on weekly, which is quite fine. It would be actually okay if we recovered that level on the weekly and continued higher. Total 2, same story. But what I would like to see on total 2 is a daily close below this level first, which is quite a quite something different, because we have a Ethereum Bitcoin that needs to sweep lower too, but on the other side we don't want to see where was it? We don't want to see the USDT dominance going that much higher, so total is fine. This can be okay. It had a closure below, so this could be finished, but there are some older levels too. This is not a free tap. This is a wrong side of the market basically, so there's some old liquidity stuck around here. That's just the reason why there's a level. But historically speaking, we are in the sell model still. I'll show you right now what I mean by that. I have it on different chart. Yeah, showed you this. We need to go on weekly for that. And we need to revert the chart so you can see it. What we did here, why Bitcoin is in bear market right now. We had the original state here, and very likely the price action is going to be this one, where we top our bottom around the 38k later on. For now I expect the range, as I said, and this could be good for alts in short term or mid term. See, there's old levels here, and this is the same setup we had. This was the only PVG, which is basically an imbalance here, which was now tested on the January, and it was the reason what we are doing here basically. So currently right now we should be around this area here. Let me know if this is clear or not. 38k should be a guarantee, but the possibility is all the way to 24k. But my bet is that we will bottom somewhere around here. The invalidation of this setup would be a closure below this, or like above 85k. Then this sell setup would be invalidated. And what does this mean for us? I will not be buying or doing anything with the Bitcoin currently. I will be just waiting. My triggers are just this zone for some possible longs, but I will be adding spot around 50 to 38k. Possibly, if you're going to look for long term, you can start buying here to DCA. I don't really mind if it reverses, and I'm not in the Bitcoin. I'm not really trading Bitcoin, so that one is not really as important to me. But yeah, I think it's quite understandable what I'm looking into on Bitcoin and what you should be watching. Total free, hit some key levels. I need to go back to daily and revert our chart. I would like to see these levels. For we reverse again, could be on the could be in the next 14 to 20 days, or not even 20. Yeah, 22 days. So maybe a small dip one more time, and then should continue higher. This level is what I would like to see being swept, but also recovered. So very quick dump and then to the upside. But the chance of this happening is quite small, but it's not something that you should not have in mind in case it dumps. For me, this would be enough at 636 billion, but yeah, I want to warn you about this possible scenario too. And this is where you should not panic if this happens. This is where you should actually deploy most of the money. But I'm happy that this is currently happening. We had a top on nice here on total 3. And this is a CRT level. Basically what we are doing here, this whole area is a range basically. And what you had here is a sweep of the high. And this is a sweep of the low that should happen. You can actually apply some equilibrium to see where's the middle part, and it should... Wait, I have something wrong. Am I actually blind? Oh, it's this one, yeah. Sorry that I'm not really thinking that much today, but... Or like my talking skills are bad, but I didn't sleep last 24 hours, so... let me read, guys, what you are writing. Good morning, good morning. Hello, first time here, thank you for everything. Thank you so much for coming by and for such nice words, man. Brother Rainmaker, could you please check OVB? Yeah, we will check it later on, but for now I will just go through the majors so the people that are here can see it, and then we will go. But yes, I'm just waiting, kind of. I basically tried what I sent, so I have been quite patient right now inside the group. What you should be trading is just these big wicks that basically were liquidating the lows. The second they are touched, you can trade and scalp these. If they close above, they are very good for short-term scalps. DAX is looking bearish still. Let's say Germany stock market. This is what I sent in the VIP group. Now we have an LTF 3 taps too. And I expect soon an acceleration of the stock market to go down. Euro dollar as well. We had some areas to be targeted for the Fugees, and now could reverse slower. 1 second, I will close the door. Okay, fine. Nice, now I can focus again. So yeah, we could see a drop today after the open, something I expected. And we have a free tap that was unfilled, not filled really here. So there's some potentially going to be a reaction below this level. This could have been it, but my long-term bias for euro dollar is this low at least. So a drop of a 11% on euro dollar. It's looking very similar to gold and the gold silver. What the fuck is... Oh. Very, very similar. But on a shorter time frame period. We had the acceleration, hit the key levels, and right now it's deploying lower. Not deploying, I'm sorry, my English is terrible today. We have some indexes here too, already dumped here. We had a free tab here, we were waiting for. I warned VIP around here that we should sell. I believe I also posted something into the free, yeah, that the sell button should be on stock soon. Nasdaq perfect fill here. Actually, absolutely perfectly filled. On the daily UNF, which was a missing wick here. And now we could potentially continue higher. But this was such a very nice scalp possible trade that we had here. There was this free tap here, You had the sweep, which attacked the previous alt free tap, and then the dump. This was such a big move. I believe, like, if you took that on a funding accounts, 7% move is crazy. Was a nice move here. This is CRT, CRT as well. And right now we are forming something again, as I see. Okay, it's finished too. But there was a lower time frame free tap, which was possible to be... Or you could have traded this today, but I didn't realize that. Or not like realize that, but I didn't check that. It was a free drive as well. But there's some liquidity building down here for sure. Can check how the US 500 is doing. Yeah, there was a SMT, small SMT on lower time frame. That's why it chewed up. Nasdaq, how is Nasdaq looking? Still going higher. And let me check oil. One sec. I need to check which chart we used for oil. Oh, it was on the old one. Okay. I previously warned my VIP group about the oil changes, or not oil changes, but what I expect for oil in long term. And is this the chart? TVC, which one was that? Oh, it was XXCM. So I was expecting this from point of oil running, and I expect 160 to be reached in a long period of time. The reasoning is very simple. We had a liquidity here, forming liquidity curve. Not as obvious, but on monthly we had A levels that are here. Just refined to the point of where you can see them more clearly. It was actually a 3-month level, refined to 1 month, and now we're pumping. So if they utilize that, they are up 18% currently on oil. Okay, I will talk about mindset a lot in a couple seconds, but I will tell you what I do, how I actually sustain dumps, and what do I actually plan in advance if these happen, and how I work with emotions. Okay, so right now let me check the OVB. Okay, I have no clue how big that coin is. Uniswap on base. Okay, it's pretty pumped, so definitely wouldn't be buying that right now if you're not in. Reach the listing price, so big chance we get some sort of a retracement before continuation. In case there was not any 60 to 85% dump, there was. Okay, so from here to here there was a dump of 83%, which is fine. That's a healthy retracement. New buyers stepped in and now pumping. That's a good sign, but you need to be very careful about the listing price. Let me check the market cap and the volume. Volume is very fine. Market cap not bad too. 20 million if I'm not wrong. FDV. Okay, so if the fully diluted value is 146 million, then they have some blockage, or let me see. I know I don't have taps swept, I'm just searching for info. So 1 second, I will go back to chart. One thing I don't like about the token is this. You have a... Look, let's do big. You have holders, and the top 3 holders are holding more than 50% of the coin. That's a very bad sign. I know this can be team, they can be releasing some tokens, but that's the problem. Once they release tokens, price will dump. So if there's some sort of allocations or token planning, something to do with that, they will likely have calls that they will pay, and they will just chill it, but there will not be new buyers stepping in, and the older holders that are holding for quite a time will not be patient enough, and they will start selling. So this is very risky. I actually would be fully avoiding that, to be honest, right now with you. But maybe it can pump, but the risk tolerance for me would not be here. You want to be buying where it's lower. So from chart perspective, it's looking fine because we had the retracement. If you bought lower, but as a new buy, this is not like... This is the worst idea to buy around here. Because you can quickly dump and be stuck in the position, like let's say this dumps 50% and you need 150% pump then just to recover your entry. So if you bought here, it's okay, but de-risk. If you bought anywhere, somewhere here, just take some initials, take some profit and let it do its thing. Or take full profit and buy lower for a smaller amount if you want to. But you need to understand where to exit. Were there any news or anything special event on February 16? Yeah. Not February 16, but we have a... One sec. We have this. So... What is happening? We have a... Let's go on Bitcoin or something else, so we can be on the chart that we need for now, and... Or Ethereum, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Ethereum is actually better because of the expectations we have. So we have Chinese New Year and Blood Moon Cycle. 2026. Where the total eclipse should be happening in the March 2 and March 3. So the bottom of the market should be found anywhere between that area. So from 17th, we are on too big a time frame. Anywhere from 17th to a 3rd of March. So 17 to 8th of March. Also, the Chinese New Year celebrations are not ending on the 17th. They actually end on March 3 too. So they have nearly 14 days of celebrations of the New Year, and it aligns with the new Blood Moon cycle. So what I expect is some sort of bottom, maybe we get a small dump, but during this time we should bottom and then we should continue higher. On Ethereum at least. Bitcoin is, in my opinion, still in bear market. But the reason I'm bullish on on Ethereum is that Ethereum against Bitcoin is doing lower time frame and higher time frame manipulations, PO freeze, and bullish free taps. So we will likely fill some lower prices, but soon Ethereum should outperform Bitcoin quite a lot. And not to mention we have this super big liquidity curve that is yet to be liquidated, so yeah, can actually even go like this. So this chart is the whole reasoning why I'm bullish on alts. And I think just people just don't realize some certain situations. We have currently what is dumping the market is the ETFs. ETFs are selling a lot, and also it's not really something unusual or that we have some sort of black swan events or something like that. It's just in the chart. You guys saw what I meant with the alt wake of accumulation, and we reached that target. So right now we are kind of transforming into a I need to find the chart. We are transforming into new price action, and yeah. So you see, this was my prediction somewhere around here of this move. This happened right now, and right now we are creating a new price action, which is also continuing in the sell model, which we had here. So yeah, so this was the wick off. Okay, I'm done. Okay, says here. So this was the wick off. It finished its move. The target was 74k, and right now we are continuing in the sell model, which is here, like this reversed. So you can see chart is now reversed. So what we expect now is 38k. Okay, guys, but to the mindset, what I'm doing, I'm not really trading futures as much right now. It's like a falling knife currently. I'm more sitting on my hands currently and waiting for some higher time frame free taps, levels to be swept. And yeah, for example, the Ethereum Bitcoin, this is where I would be rotating your Bitcoin into Ethereum for some short-term pump at least. If you are trying to accumulate more Bitcoin via other assets and you don't mind holding for longer time. For example, this is what my brother does. He doesn't really care about the price. He's just buying and holding, but sometimes he rotates the assets to the other ones that he expects to outperform, and this is how he accumulates Satoshi and Bitcoin, and yeah. So he doesn't really care about the price. He cares how to make more Bitcoin, basically. And he's not a pro trader. He's not really trading. This is just what he do. I tell him what I see, what I expect, what I would do, and he does it on his own after that. By the way, we are loading a super big free tap on a Coinbase. So once this happens, we are likely going to see crypto going up too. And yeah, this just aligns with the overall crypto running orders, something I expected. And I will tell you what I sent to D-Man today. I didn't really send it to the group, I think, because these were just my thoughts. Okay, so let's clear it for a second. So if you are a new buy, if you're a retail trader, if you have no skill, what do you see on this chart? All I see here is, I'll just put this back so I don't lose this, but yeah. So what I see, okay, potentially you had a head and shoulders pattern here, and what this tells you is that you should be selling around here with a stop loss here. Okay. And yeah, so what do you expect here is a sell with a, many people are entering here with say sell here and stop loss here, here, here. Why? Because we have a head and shoulders pattern. What I told to D-Man is that this is also a pre-tap, okay? On lower time frame we will have pre-tap here, but this is the key area that should be swept and closed below, which now happened. So in terms of pre-tap, validation and what should happen, this is the lowest level here. 1, 2, 3, and we should have a closure below this level. Once this happens, we can easily see a recovery, and if it does, then this confirms that crypto or like small coins should run. And on top of that, if people go on the higher time frame, later on they might realize that this is potentially a inverse head and shoulders too. So they're kinda right now being fucked with the two head and shoulder patterns, where the inverse head and shoulder patterns were trading a longs with a stop losses here. So what we are doing now is sweeping these longs and trapping these shorts. I know it may not sound as clear, but this is what comes into my mind first time I see it. Because people that don't really have much knowledge about the market, they will look into patterns. They see this and they are like, oh, it's going to work. Like, it works every time. I mean, yeah, eventually they will say it worked. Because we have inverse head and shoulders. But they never expect this sweep. And they will say that inverse head and shoulders worked, this didn't work, and there was two. So one of them works every time because you have two options, short and bull, or like short and long, and both play out basically, but they will just choose the one that went with it. So yeah, that's why our that's why patterns are so bad in this situation. Free tap is basically a pattern too, but it's doing the exact opposite of what everyone is expecting. Because you know that the market is moving in some sort of trends. This is what everyone was teaching you. So once the market structure shifts, people expect that you are in a uptrend. But they never understand where's the liquidity sitting and where is the retail market basically putting their stop losses. On top of that, you utilize the liquidity curves I was talking about, and you have a plan. Price accelerates, makes bigger moves, sweeps some sort of level, and dumps. Everyone gets liquidated, and they accumulate here and send it higher when no one has money. And the process repeats again. They start buying here, something new happens, okay, they make some money. They believe that their strategy is okay. And that second, market reverses again. What helped me a lot to realize these things is that you need to understand when people get money, that those that are working, how do they get it, and what they are thinking when they are investing. So, do you know why Monday is the day where most of the time the market dumps? Monday. Why Monday? I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. Why Monday is the worst day to trade and why we are dropping all the time. It doesn't really need to be with your finance status or something like that. That's another thing. But the main reason why Monday is a very bad day, because everyone is depressed. They have to go to work. Majority has to go to work. So what do? They want to escape that reality. So when you want to escape that reality, you do what? You spend money or invest. those that are in the market. Because, let me change the text a little bit. They feel miserable because new week started and they want to escape this whole cycle. Okay. Does it make sense? It's just common sense. But like these small things, once you realize them, how people operate, how they think, that's what leads you to build some sort of pattern recognition and why exactly are people investing the way they do it. And this doesn't only apply to new weeks, this also applies to new years. This is the reason you could see market pumping from the new year, exactly from the new year, because retail was likely buying stuff. Okay, so new year, new me. Okay, let's see what happens. Let me just buy some random shit, and oh my god, it's going up for how much? It went up for 14 days, so 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks, people that make some easy money, okay, let's say they bought 5k. The market went up, I don't even know, like a couple percent, okay, 10%. So they are screaming, they are buying because, oh my god, I know how the market works. And then key level gets attacked and they get swept. And fucked again. Since this was the PVG that was not filled basically. And then you have the continuation. But the main reason why this happened is not really the manipulation, but the overall psychology of the people. New year, you know that many people want to do new things on New Year's and they expect them to change. Many people will start investing from the new year. That's just how it is. The same way many people go to gym on the new year, and yeah. So this applies to anything from Mondays, new weeks to New Year's. Just try to think what regular people do, and that way you counter them basically. But we are in bear market. Yes, we are in bear market for Bitcoin, but I believe also will catch up very, very soon. You can notice how they are preparing the overall posts and how like doom posting, how everyone is doom posting and expecting lower prices on alts. But as long as we hold, as long as Ethereum holds 1750, then we should be fine. We should range there, maybe some quick sweep later on, but as long as we close above that, Ethereum is bullish. Yes, it has some nasty pumps, but we have a bunch of liquidity to the upside still. And the reason for this whole dump is basically a higher time frame pre-tap, as you see. What we filled here is a unfilled VVG on weekly, and you see one more sweep would be welcome at a 1730. So as long as we close above this level, we should be fine. Quick sweep can happen here, and then we should go upside again. But my point is that I am going to be buying Ethereum very soon, more Ethereum. I've bought across these like dumps. I don't really mind if it takes a couple weeks, but the next price for me is a 6k, 5.6k minimum. I believe we will go higher than that, but this is where I will start scaling out at 5.6k. So Let me know if this is clear what I said, but yeah. I'm gonna go to S&P against total free. You can see also we had a old free tab here, which was now swept closed above, and this is where we should reverse. So you had a old bearish free tab and you have new bearish free tab. This one basically attacked old level, and that is where we reverse later on. Usually a new free tab will attack old free tab levels if it's unswept. If it was swept, then you don't really care about it. It can go higher. But if it is unswept, you will see a reaction here. This is very important, by the way, what I just said. So if you don't understand it, then watch replay later on again and repeat what I just showed you a couple times. I haven't checked Doge for a long time. We have Doge D. Doge is looking pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I think this will accelerate very soon. We can check the levels on 3 days just to see what we are working with. It's still inside this level, tap the low. And maybe we are building some sort of lower time frame. This volume is still low, so we don't really have anything here. But yeah, Doge should have a cycle as well. And we should revisit at least 1.43% on Doge dominance. Let's check the Doge USDT.P. Yeah, it's sitting in the weekly level, so as long as we hold this, should be fine. Can refine this level. This is what many will call a order block here. I will mark it with a different color. I'll show you in a second why. Okay, that's not a good color. Let's go with green. This can be missed, and yeah. Okay, in this case it was not, but these order blocks is not what you want to be trading. Order blocks are fine, but they will often fuck you up. We swept this low, so right now it's looking very good. We had a closure below these 3 tabs, so reversal very possible. We also have a very nice looking weekly candles, so as long as this closes above this level, we have a confirmation of a low Bojan low and can continue higher. Let's see if we have some sort of FVGs. Okay, we have an FVG here. So there's a gap in price. Let me bring those up. And we have some small FVGs here, but I wouldn't really count these as much. You can mark them, but I wouldn't pay as much attention to these. There might be some small reaction here, but should continue higher. And do we have some older FVGs? No, this was filled, so this one was already tapped here, so we don't count that one. Okay, so that's the plan for Doge. You have a old free tab here on a higher time frame, which is still valid, by the way. We have the sweep right now, and it is sweeping some sort of older free tab down here. This is exactly the combination I told you about right now, why you should follow these. So this is the lowest point of the free tabs, and this is the free tab itself. It can be even this if you want to be it more clear. Because you have 1, 2, 3, never swept below that, and you have the uptrend here. So this is the reason why we closed here. And right now we might be just testing this and forming a new demand zone basically. So currently Doge could be actually starting to pump soon. And we might be getting some nice volume soon too. We had it here, which was right after the sweep of the old free tap. The reason why the volume raised here a lot is because of the fill of that level and also new orders stepping in and old being swept. When do you think I'll stop? I would say once we start running, it's about to be 2 months maximum. Brother, could you explain with a simple example that how alts follow Bitcoin when it has its own market? This all has to... Basically all of this comes in the dominances, but you need to understand where or when Bitcoin is in Wyckoff models and accumulations. For that I use a timed markets and some of the structures that I don't want to uncover yet for everyone, but you will soon see it, and with the liquidity curves too. Because these timed zones are the best thing you can likely use in terms of a understanding where the market shifts, but you also need to know Wyckoff a lot. And yeah, and for this, market can help you analyze these tops and bottoms on the US 500 against total 3 and US 500 against total charts. Because I mentioned earlier, I think it was somewhere in the October or September last year, that US 500 against total is bottomed. So stocks should be having better time than Bitcoin. But also said that we are forming a bearish free tap on US 500 against total 3, which is good for alts, but we are just attacking the old level right now. So, and it has not been 144 weeks yet. I am not sure if you can hear me. My internet went off for a second for some reason. Let me see if it's live. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm sorry if I sound dumb, if I sound stupid, but how to check where the liquidity is? I use a free taps for that, or you can use a liquidity maps, but they are often misleading. I actually would say that with the free taps, you are not pointing at a certain level where you would notice in a second where the liquidity is. It's more of a older level that has the conditions for a reversal, which was not swept yet, because it has not met the older conditions for free tap. What I mean by that is that what I teach is a free tap, which looks like this. You have some sort of uptrend and support, but sometimes what happens is that the market just goes up and never comes back, okay? Or like not soon. If that happens, later on some sort of a new free tap can happen too here. And this new free tap, before it reverses again, or if it continues higher, it will often attack the old free tap and then it can go higher again, because this level was never swept. Oh fuck, what? What's happening? Okay, so this level was never swept. Okay, so these violent dumps are often a unfilled free tap levels. I'll show you on the Ethereum. Let me just mark this. You see what we had here? For example, there was a LTF free tap, never closed below on 4 hour. So you know that there's some sort of missing part where the market did not reach it. And the price skyrocketed after that and went to 5k nearly. And this small free tap attacked this higher time frame free tap. We had a sweep here, but we never swept that low. So currently we are waiting for a closure below that level on 4 hour. And then the market might reverse and go higher again. That's how I view the market. And also you have a level here. There was an alt FVG. You can probably still mark it like this because on 3-day, for example, it should still be an FVG that was not filled yet. So it's a combination of fair value gaps and a free taps. I've been previously learning fair value gaps and this type of stuff, but I was never really successful with them. And this made me realize that I need to change something in order to understand which fair value gap will be the good one and what you should follow after that the fair value gap happens. Because in case this fair value gap is filled, this one, in some scenarios what can happen is that it's just a short-term pump, and after that we may create another bearish free tap. So you would be stuck in a long because you saw the fair value gap filled, but in reality we had a bearish free tap here and the price would dump to lower prices below that FVG because you didn't realize what happened here. But in this current scenario, we are building a bullish free tap, very likely attacking this unfilled FVG, fair value gap, and then we might reverse and go higher. I left for a few minutes. What about Chili's, Link, and T-Rex? Let's check Link. Why not? I think we discussed Link last time. It's in a good range. Should bottom very soon too. Let's check the levels. Yeah, we have a level here. So anything around here should be a bottom to maximum this level. So right now we can buy spot. Maximum drop $6 in my opinion, and then we will be looking for higher prices again. All these concepts is just the same all the time. You don't really need to think about it that much. Weekly, let's see. Monthly. Okay, this was just a sweep of high. But on lower time frame, we might find a bearish free tap here that was not filled yet. So I can show you. Okay, you see? This was never filled. And we have a closure above that level. So this is the sweep. And that's your reversal point. That's how simple it is basically. And right now you're building new free tabs. Again, this is just perfect example of the continuation of what we just, or what I just said. We are creating some sort of new free tab that is likely attacking some previous free tab and sweeping some old levels. The free tab here could be even this. In case this is true, then your next target is for now somewhere around $43 for link. Very likely some sort of any high of this that was not filled yet. So yeah, this is the only high that was not filled right now. Anything in this price area is where I would be selling my spot backs. I'll quickly just go through these coins. I will send you these bedim in the private chat later on. Chili's is, I guess, fine, but in long downtrend, not really changing anything here. Potentially also a bearish free tap here. So this one is not looking as good. Might be something like this. So you get a exit liquidity pump before it dies fully. If so, this is the last pump before this goes to zero, basically. And TRX, like that. But guys, to the mindset, I am not really emotional at all in the markets anymore. I just don't really care. If market moves, you should not feel any emotions. If you do, you are more invested than you should be in those coins. You always need to have a reserve, always need to feel comfortable in, even if market drops 40-50%, you need to know that you can buy. The second you run out of reserves, you are basically in bad spot and you will stress a lot. And it will very much screw your overall plan, because there's nothing you can do about that once you are fully invested. You're basically giving away your control. The second you invest everything, you have no power in the market anymore. Because you have nothing left. It's the same as relationships, basically. The second you give 100%, things go bad most of the time. Because you just do too much. So yeah, we don't want to do that. And I managed to... Oh, okay, we have some questions. One sec. Hey brother, third time here, love what you show us. Can you please check XRP and Sol? Yeah, we can check those. These are major currents we didn't go through yet. Can Ethereum pump from here to 2,350 very short time frame? It can, but as I said, I would like to see a fill of a 1720 first. And I would wait for the Chinese New Year at least. Because I believe Trump will do some sort of manipulation still below these levels. And it's DJT ticker, and this is very strictly aligned with the cryptocurrency markets. So once this level is swept, which I hope is going to be in that area, then market will pump. So I actually expect in that time some sort of a white swan event. So a bullish or like fundamentally driven bullish news. And those news are not going to be the power to the market, but they will basically light up the volatility, and whales will be able to cover their positions again, and you will have more juicy order books, so there will be more money rotating and easier to get more of a big orders in. But okay, let's check Sol, and let's check the XRP. We had a bearish free tap. We tried to long it here, but we're not successful. But if we kept the short, would have been very nice. For now, let's see if we have some sort of key levels. Let's go on monthly. I actually wish that this coin would die. I don't really like Solana. But we need levels first. This is possible. FVG. Weekly. This is an order block, which will likely be swept. There was a lot of volume here. This could be potentially a big level. I know it's very far, but Solana is still one of the coins that could be problematic. It had a very nice run, but I feel like there's a lot of coins that can do better. But we can't ignore that we have a free tap level here. So let's see if we have some old free taps here. Very possibly somewhere around here, so let's mark this area. Let's pre-mark some sort of support on daily. Let's go on 4-hour chart. The level here, but nothing specific as much. Can leave it like this for now, and no obvious uptrend. That would be very nice, but there's a liquidity curve which was swept slightly here, but nothing that would tell us what can happen next. I didn't check weekly time frame. Okay, what you see here very clearly, very clearly. Oh my god, I fucking can't speak. Okay, so I inverse head and shoulders, or I mean head and shoulders pattern. So if this is one of those that will play out, you're looking for a potential target of a much lower prices. But I don't like patterns, as I told you. So if we are looking into FVGs, we have one here on weekly too. There's a key level. Nothing here. This was swept, so that's okay. Can potentially mark this level because this is what caused the old VVG to be swept and the delivery to the order block. But for me, this setup is not really something I would watch, just because there is not enough data for me right now, so... yeah. Actually, we can check Sol Ethereum chart if we don't find anything there. The curve here. Let's start over. I haven't been on this chart for eternity. Nothing really here. Sol Doge. Okay. So let's do it like this. Looks a lot similar to the Bitcoin dominance actually somehow. We have a bullish free tap here, but this means that Solana should underperform against Doge right now. We also need to mark this as a range. Wait a second. Is there some sort of free tap here? No, there was here, but nothing now. Okay, let me quickly think. This is going to be this. So, yeah, there's a chance that this free tap will attack this lower level first. We had the wick exactly pinpoint to the top of the range, which is very good. So this gives you an idea of Doge outperforming Solana soon. We might have some sort of relief in here on lower time frame. Okay, that was maybe too small time frame. And there's no valid free tap because this is too low, so this is not a LTF. We check levels. Level that held this previously was this one. So this is a potentially very weak level right now. The next ones are these two. So Solana should underperform against Doge. We expect Doge to run, but Solana might struggle, which would actually make sense in terms of a previous cycle, or like this cycle, where Solana was running so much and the other coins were quite behind. Okay, let's go for XRP. I have XRP somewhere in here. Is there any charts? Then here it is. Okay, I don't think I have charted here or anything. XRP swept the low, which is good, of this previous level. We need to go for 3-day chart. We need to mark this area. See if it was, yeah, okay, range high. Perfectly respect the middle. And big level here, possibly. So let's check lower time frame if we have any PVGs here. And there's also an UNF here. If I'm not wrong, yes. So there's an UNF here. This is your important weekly level. Or daily. Oh wait, it's today. 1 second, if it's not on daily. Yeah, it's on daily too. So daily UNF. And we can reduce this to this and this. So we have two important levels. Let's also see where's the 0.75 fib. It's around here. So it had exact reaction on the fib here. That's why we saw the surge. It was also after the wick. In terms of any bullish free taps, not currently seeing any. We do have a liquidity curve here, which is good. Actually, there might be an aggressive free tap here, but this would be a very aggressive one and not really something you should pay attention to, but you can keep this level. If it recovers this, you can pay attention to it. But again, would like to see some lower prices before going higher. Potentially creating some sort of free drive here. We had free drive here, so this one's invalidated here. Then a new free drive potentially here, but how long was this? Okay, 148. Was this 92? No, okay. Then nothing. But yeah. What I see here, there's potentially a unfilled free tab here. This could be your target area. Let's put it as low as we can. 1, 2, 3. So in case of pump, yeah, you are targeting this high. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I skipped, but let's go back to TRX. I started talking about mindset, I believe, so sorry about that. Small liquidity curve here. I mean, like, there's not really enough data on TRX right now. Potentially very bearish. These are such a weird movements. Like, they're accelerating. It can be low liquidity, liquidity curves on lower time frame. But there's no really anything that would give you some sort of idea what's going to happen. Yeah, okay. I see. There's old free tap possibly. That was not filled, so. But we need to check lower time frame on this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so TRX for now is bearish in my opinion. Until this level is swept at least. So dump of 5% minimum. Potentially bullish liquidity curve here. But this was also attacked. I mean, I don't really have much words for this. It's not like you don't often see such like weird charts. TRX is fine, it's good tech because it says cheap and very fast. But the question is how good they can utilize that. Yeah. Share unit chart, LTC, okay. Let's go to Litecoin and then we check unit. And then I think we'll finish. So Litecoin, nothing really changes for me. I'm accumulating long term still. We have some insanely big free taps. I think LTC is going to be one of the best performers soon. And in the long term too. The technology versus slept on kinda. And it has attacked previous lows, which is good. Closed above. Good recovery. Maybe we can search for some unfilled free taps. This level needs to be attacked. Possibly. Yeah. So your liquidity is basically buying here and waiting for the $137. This is a matter of time. We are sweeping the old lows, which is very good too. So once some volume comes in, it should bounce very quickly. And this was the... Yeah, this was swept as well. So the only low is this that was not swept. But this is likely not going to happen. They often don't let them take out these multi-year levels as much. only in the very big bear markets. So, but you have a closure on weekly below the free tap already. So in this situation, you should be starting to look for a possible bullish scenarios and run-ups. So Litecoin definitely a coin I would be buying spot. If you don't know what to add to your portfolio, this is one of my recommendations for sure. Uni USDT, very old coin. Same as Litecoin basically. Has some levels here. These are some older ones. Also a closure below. This is what I was talking about previously in the Litecoin too. They never swept this low, so we're likely not going to sweep it. But the problem here is that we had the big dump on the October, and this was never swept, so there is a danger that, yeah, it actually might sweep these lows, but you would be looking at another dump of a 50% basically. So Uni is looking similar to Litecoin, but has for now it looks more riskier than the Litecoin in my opinion. You have some older liquidity here, liquidity curves. Let's see if they were swept. Slightly, yeah, so this can be ignored, but we will keep it on the chart just so you see how I think about that. Hold free tap for our levels. Let's check. Move it slightly higher. 1, 2, 3. Can adjust this too. Was this attacking anything previously or not? Almost. If we put the line here. Yeah, okay, so the daily level was attacked here but never closed above that. Potentially being linked a... Wait, actually we can check if this was closed on 4 hour previously. No, so in case of a run up, I would be selling at $19 too and scaling out slowly. In terms of higher targets, maybe something here, but not a chart I would be looking into as much. It had some sort of pump right now. 40% pump. Are we liquidating something? Yes, possible liquidity curve here. You see how the market is repeating itself all the time. But again, no good structure here really. What you see now is a bearish retap. So market swept some sort of older level. Very likely some sort of VVG. Yes. And reacted down. And now will very likely target some older level after the VVG. So continuation lower on unit. We didn't check the event. I'm sorry about that. That was quite an old request. I don't know what that coin is, but event from Jupiter. Okay, when on Jupiter. Let me see. If it's the one with the 4 million market cap, it's been only dumping. Very low volume. Maybe I'm on the wrong one. 1 second. I'll check by the volume. No, none of these have volume really. 2 million it are not too many. 4 million market cap. I know you don't see the screen. It's okay. I will just say you this in the chat, so or like in the through the voice. So it's 2-year-old chart, and it has only 3,000 volume on the daily, basically. So for such big coin, I'll add you these screenshots so we can at least sit on the stream. Okay. So you see, this is the coin. You see how it's going down all the time? And this is the data. This is the data for it. Oh. Like this. So what do we have here? We don't have liquidity locked right now. That's a bad sign. Okay, 120 transactions. I mean, very weird for such low volume. And market makers, or like makers, not good numbers for such big coin. So it's a very long, very old coin, but you don't really have a data that would support the reversal there or any sign of the coin going higher right now. You would need more volume and you would need more people coming in that chart. Also, there's no bullish structure as free taps and anything like that. It's been basically going just down. Aster and Hype, okay. So let's check Aster. Aster below listing price, potentially could be creating some sort of pump then. We need to go on lower time frame. There was this. Some sort of free tap anywhere around here. So we are potentially looking at some pump, into some pump. Let's see if we do have anything here that would be telling us what happens here. Or if we have some sort of VVG, we do. We also want to mark this level, because this was completely ignored and aligns exactly with the level we have here. So say double level in one, and let's see if the level is on 4 hour as well. No, it's inside of these, but it's respecting, so I can keep that one. On lower time frame, volume picking up, some sort of run, but no free taps here. Okay, you could have counted this as a free tap, but not very clear. What is important is the sweep of the low of the listing price. So this is potentially a relief pump, but it's still a scam coin. Don't just remember, this is like, look at the price action it had down from the top 83%. Before people had a chance to discover this, this was down a lot and you were buying the top. So yeah, potentially another one would kind of align with the thesis on the target zone. So if market pumps, you are looking to 150% pump in case it happens. But again, I would not really suggest looking into this coin. Let's see if it's 0.75. Yeah. So this is the area where you want to exit the position in case you are buying this. Also, hype was requested. I think that we went through hype on last stream. We were, I was openly longing this in the VIP group. I might still have very small position there, but let me check. No. No, we fully closed it, I think. Yeah. Okay, but you see perfect pre-tab here, sweep of the old level, manipulation and pump of 70%. And we were short, we were longing this after the wick was filled, so could have got a 70% spot move, basically. Right now, what we are doing, again, sweeping some sort of older level, older free tap. And if we create some structure, it can again continue higher. Had this perfect liquidity curve. Actually, do it slightly steeper. But you see, like, anything of this. I mean, if you want me to train your eye, then you would be doing it from here, just a small one, just to kind of align. But remember that the liquidity curves basically just a price accelerating quicker and quicker in a tighter periods of time. That's how I view them, and yeah. So high potentially can go higher. Have the big free tab here since the listing, and yeah, can go higher. I mean, launch was good. It was a airdrop. It had a very healthy price action after the tokens were dropped, so many people made a lot of money on here. Very normal that we had some profit taking, also by forming the free tab. This was the dump. I mean, overall hype is healthy coin in terms of how it developed over the time. Any new questions? No. Okay, guys, I think this is going to be it. Basically 100 minutes long stream, and I will see you on the next one. So yeah, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for watching. Thanks for your attention as well, and it was a nice stream, very quick. I'm sorry if my speaking was not as good today, but I haven't slept in like 35 hours now, so yeah. So excuse me for that. Let's just quickly check the lower time frame on Ethereum. It's going to be last thing I do. We find some manipulation candles, but not really. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye bye.